I had mentioned in previous videos about manufacturing, okay? The manufacturing flaw that I could show you the example. This company, right? When they started, the whole family, and then suddenly they have to split, okay? One is in Vietnam, one is in Thailand, okay? But the manufacturing place is in Thailand. Okay, but in order for then on top of it, they have a politic between country, and then suddenly they cannot export. So then they use the family to do that export via Vietnam. So what you do if you capable to read Thai or English, it come from the same place, same manufacturing. Okay, and the label will be different. You know, the package is different, slightly different, but they wanted product of Vietnam, wanted product of Thailand, and come from the same manufacturing. Okay, everything is possible. That's why you want to read a lot of things. It's a product of China or product of Vietnam. Most of the time, people don't pay attention to this, product where it come from. Because I'm in the food industry, I know a lot of countries try to do the same thing or writing something similar. But the biggest thing you want to see manufacturing where, okay, the same locations, same marketing people, those kind of thing. And then what the product come from, Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, or those kind of thing. Because previous video I was talking about packaging products, so it will come from every part of the world, but you have to understand where it come from because in order to come to the US, you have to identify where it come from. Okay, and then you make your decision. Okay, you're going to use it, you're not using it. Okay, it is all up to you. But for me, I would stick with the Thai product of Thailand. If I can get a hand in, I will because we have been doing export for culinary good for a long, long time. Like a curry paste, it's more than 50 years that they send it outside the world, and the same. And then you have many manufacturing like Mẹ Sĩ, Mẹ Poi, Mẹ Panom, all those kind of, they all export out. So, but they are product in Thailand. They use ingredient in Thailand, and the manufacturing process is pretty, I mean, secure and clean. So it's trustable. So that's what I use almost. If I can get the Thai products, I use Thai product. Okay. It sometimes it's a little bit more expensive, but sometimes it's not. But now you can buy online, and then you have to know which one is good and go into the research. And if you in doubt, you can just leave the note and see what you're looking for or what kind of thing, or you have a sample, you can post it, and then I will see it. And then when they explain it, everybody got the benefit because this thing is for benefit for people around the world. If they come into my site and study about it, this is a free education. They want to give it to people too. And okay, I want to share what I know. Okay. Now I'm going to go into now the cooking techniques, those kind of things that you have to at least have some blackout, understand a little bit. So how we do them, how do you cook, this particular kind of thing. This is my chicken satay. Okay, we talk about heat and the time and the temperature. Heat is the temperature, okay? What's the time? That when you do the cooking. So when you start the heat, you put the ingredients aside. That's what you have to consider about it. Because if you have the bigger satay, so you take it a bit longer, and if your temperature, that means your heat in your system is so high, you will burn everything. It's so slow, the inside of the cook. So that's what technique that you need to understand when you do something. Because in Thai cooking, you got the grill, barbecue, whatever. Then you have soup, salad, stir fry, curry, those kind of things. This is a lot of things going on at once in this. But if you keep on watching my videos, so then they will absorbing in your thing and become your consciousness. Your second thing that you do. Oh, I want to cook this, and then I have to prep. So how thick that I should be, in Thailand, because when you see the street food, you hardly see the big thick like this because they have to be thinner because they go faster, they cook faster. Okay, that cooking time that is to determine the worth, because if you have this, you take a long time for you to cook, then you have to pay for the people who cook those kind of things. Is minimize time, so then they can do more work, they can sell more. Okay, and you have to concern what the result is. Okay, like if your temperature and time, and this thing that you have to understand. And then the heat equation, you engineer, what how the heat, all those kind of things is generated. Okay, you don't have to know that, so I just put in there just for fun. Okay, the surface area, that what we were talking about. You have to piece it like a meat, like you cook your pork loin, or pork, what, a pork chop. If you cut your pork chop about 2 inch, those kind of thing, it will take a long time. Even the surface area, but not that big, but your thickness is big, so it will take a long time. If you put the heat is too high, then out, outside burn, the inside don't cook, those kind of thing. And then the marinating that you do, because sometimes this is marinated with, the satay that have a turmeric and all those things. You will losing the strength of it if you cook for a long time. And but marinating time is not marinate good enough. The marinating doesn't go inside the meat. So meaning you cook something that delicious is outside, but inside still meat, those kind of things. So you have to keep the time when you do marinating. But if it's thick like this that we do in a restaurant, we could marinate it and leave it about 4 hours in the refrigerator, and then we start skewing it, and the next day we sell. Those kind of things. So it just be cautious about it. This is how the cooking process in Thai cooking, because the Thai cooking have, you know, that one I had mentioned, soup, stir fry, and what else? Soup, stir fry, curry, and salad. Then you have the barbecue, all those kind of things. So there's a lot more thing involved in Thai cooking. If you get the whole of it, get the good command of it, you will be the master. Then you will change your life forever. There you go. When in time of cooking, during cooking, you have to be aware of it. This one my student love this one. He said, "Oh, I never know, I never understand it." He said, "Okay, now you're here, you know it. You talk about the heat, preheat, low heat, medium high, and then high. So medium, you and medium high, and then you go high, and then you go low, and then you go preheated. More than the preheated, we're going to use that to probably keep your food warm, those kind of thing. Or when you start cooking, what happens if you just cook with a low heat, really low heat, like a preheat? You start like you start your barbecue, and then you put that one thing in there. So of course it's going to be undercooked. But if then you just put it in high, right? Then everything outside is burn. But you go back. Oh, it burned. You take it back. Your preheat still doing the job, but inside and cook, outside burn. So those kind of things. That's what it. I want to. make sure you understand it. Okay, the preheat it means undercooked. So if you use low heat, it's slightly cooked. Okay, the medium heat is cooked. When you go to medium high, that's what you have to cook some pan fry, stir fry, those kind of thing. So they will get a little bit more faster cooking. But if your specimen is very big, then you don't cook inside and outside burn and it dry out. So those kind of things that we have to understand. And when you high, sometimes you walk on the street in Thailand, you see people making food and you see the fire coming out like that. It's like aผัด buông phai dang, the stir fried morning glory thing. That's what they have to do that to make the frame coming out to add flavor into the dish. Okay, they have to use a high heat. Okay, understand now what to do with the heat when you try to cook. Just be careful what kind of thing that you cook. Do set the heat the right thing, to where that you're going to do things. Okay, and then the thing that you have to really understand it. This is my student give me two thumb up every one of them. Then when somebody say, "Oh, yeah, two thumb up," this is what you're looking for in cooking classes. So this is the physical changing. When you stir fry vegetable, you will see it when, like for example, I stir fried Chinese broccoli. They're going to have the leaf and the stem. So which one you're going to put in first? You have to put the stem because the stem is thicker, right? Have uh, less surface area but it's thicker. But the leaf have a lot of surface area but it's thin. Okay, the physical chain of this going to tell you burn or you ruining it. Okay, because if you see the stem, it when a minute you fry 2 3 minutes, it start changing the color. Okay, to be a lightly green outside and white inside. Okay, and if you go to the leaf, they will turn bright green. Right? If you put this one at the same time, then you're learning the leaf. So those kind of things. That's the technique in Thai cooking, especially in my class. All my students know which kind of vegetable, what size, and it's a hard vegetable or leaf or soft vegetable, those kind of things. They will understand every dish when I cook for them. Do the demo and then they repeat it what I do by I give an ingredient and you practice it. I want to see, and then I will critique it. And then if you went wrong, oh, how do you reverse it? Okay, especially the taste. Okay, but the texture is difficult if you pass the point to where the green then they become black. It burn. So those kind of things. That what when you know ahead. Then when you know ahead the physical changing, this is what your advantage in Thai cooking. So that oh, this thing change, that color change. What did that mean? You lower the heat down, those kind of things. This is all the technique that I give to all my students. I always give what I have, what I know, and then I can answer anything to them. You see that the physical change, so that one is color change. This one, a physical change, it means, like when you cut all these, the side, the specimen, you cut like a thick and thin, those kind of thing. That when is you cook the pork, the physical change, it will cold. The color start changing too at the same time. Getting darker instead of red. Okay, and if you want to know the trim, like when you cook the trim, when the trim is cooked, either you stir fry or you boiling or you grill, when the trim start to crawl, that one is cooked. If you go further than that, then the tail and the head hit each other, that you overcook. Then your meat is hard. Those kind of things. That's the technique that I give. Those kind of technique I give it in my cooking class to the student. When we do something, we just explain it clearly to them. So you don't overcook it, then you will losing the taste. Don't undercook it, you're going to get fishy. You're going to all those kind of things. So eliminate fishy, the gamey smell, those kind of things. How you do them. So it depends on what kind you cook. Like Philippines, Indonesia, they like to cook fish with skin, and they like to boil them. When I was an engineer, because we sit it on the our couch, on our spot, and then they love to close to the lunchtime that we put there. Uh, Cooked fish, like a soup, half fish, dog kind of thing. And in the microwave, imagine everything smell, the whole thing. So that's what, when I do my cooking, so I will tell people what to do, how to not get fishy, you know. Then like you have to rub with the ram juice to get the salami out of it. And if you can eliminate skin, you can take the skin out. Those kind of things. Especially you do the soup, those kind of thing. And then if something have gamey smell, like it like lamb, like beef, they have gamey smell. How you eliminate it? You, we have the process we call the bleaching, which is we use the salt in there, and then you massage all your meat with the salt to get the blood out. Okay, because the blood it get you slimy. So you do that before you bring it in and wash it real good, and then you start cooking with it. If you didn't do anything, you put in there, you will smell the gamey. If some people like, some people don't. But because when the gamey coming out, when you do stir fry and it go all over, it doesn't go away. So that's what you don't want. So this is a technique that you have to understand it. Okay. When you do soup, a lot of people like to boil the soup and boil like crazy, like a heavily boiling. So that kind of thing. You don't want to do that because when I do the soup for my student, to do the demo for them, like I do tom kha gai, that kind of thing. So you have to make sure sometimes I have to boil the chicken before that, before they're using it, like a almost partially cooked. So they still have the enzyme, have a little bit of gamey, a little bit of smell, taste, flavor, all those kind of thing. So then this way you can, when you do your soup, so then it doesn't take too long time. You don't will not get excessive boil, so that means you don't kill your enzyme that you put it in there, like lemongrass, kalanga, dokati. It's a technique. This technique is really emphasis on classical Thai cooking, but the diabetic cooking even more. We go a little bit deeper to where, okay, this is what you don't want to do. Okay, you don't want to kill the enzyme. How do you cook that to maintain your enzyme close to 100%? So that's the challenge. So that what I will give it to you when I do the class for classical Thai cooking. Not classical, for diabetic cooking. Okay, and reduction amount more of the Thai we do that to make the sauce. You don't make a tom kha gai to reducing the amount. No, we don't do that. So we have to understand those kind of things. Like you make the sweet and sour sauce, so you have to reduce the water to where it becomes thick. Okay, because if you don't have a sugar, you don't have a thickness, right? If you put something gelatin or that kind of thing, and then you change the whole thing. Okay, it doesn't taste right. You taste like rubbery. It's like a sponge. It doesn't taste good. So that a lot of technique in Thai cooking. If you understand them, then you'll be master of the Thai cooking easily. Open a restaurant if you really know a lot of it. Okay, if you open a restaurant, you want to assist it, I can do all that because I start my restaurant from scratch. So I know all the way how to deal with, the vendor, how to deal with the health department, how to deal with So all the policy, what kind of thing, what kind of paper, what kind of thing that you protect yourself. So that I'm pretty good at it. They were asking me to, oh, can you come in and be the auditor for us for this, for that? And no, I don't want to fight with people, but I can tell you what it is, what you did wrong. So this is how I do it, that kind of thing. Okay. Now it's a burning smell. Okay, this is a lot of things because sometimes you got too much marinade, you know, on your meat, and then in when you use, I want to use this marinade water, and thing in there, and put your paint brush in there, and go in there, and plain is still, cooking more to get more aroma, more flavor, more attention to people who walk by. So that it become burn. When the food burn, it becomes toxin. If you do grill, so you have to cut the burn out before you serve to people. Why it's still hot, not why it's already cold and you come in to cut it out. Okay? Because it's still hot, they can still can suck it out when you cut, and the burning, the toxic, you could to shoot it out. So, and then we will burn it out in the air. So if you cut it when it's cold, the juice, all the thing that the toxin that will go into the meat, into the specimen. So it will capture it, trap it in there. So that's another technique that you have to understand when you do all these kind of things. So, and then when the food is garbage, that means you burn it, you overcook it, you all those kind of things. Try not to save them, especially when you are do the diabetic cooking, because that is a lot of toxins, a lot of things that you're going to get. It garbage. Either if you throw that to the dog and the dog turn around, look at your face, okay, huh? Those kind of thing. Just throw. If you go to that condition, don't try to save it, because a lot of people, oh man, I pay a lot of this and then damn burning it, those kind of thing. And then no, I try to save them and say no, don't don't throw it away. Okay? You don't want to put the toxin in your system. All right? Now I think you know the cooking awareness, what to do, heat, and all the technique that you go to be in there. Take it and learn how to use it, and then you will be really in good shape. All right? Now, lately, a lot of controversy about the oil. So now you got to know a little bit of oil and how the oil that they make it for you and how you use it. So what it does, you have to observe it, like this is the oil quality, when in Thai food, a lot of frying, especially street food, they fry for a long time. Like a McDonald's, you ever go inside and see what kind of oil they use, and you see the oil black, the oil is really solid yellow, solid orange, that kind of thing. That means you overcook it, or you overuse it. So because the clever Thai or clever Chinese, that's how they change the oil from this color, the dark color, to become back to where original, yellow like that. So you use the flour to go in and fry it with the flour, and the flowers attract a lot of imperfection or whatever, the leftover food, all that kind of thing out, when you cook it, and then your oil become clear again, and then they reuse those oil again. That what it caused a lot of problem. That's the saturated fat that you get it from frying food, that kind of thing is toxin to the system, but because you don't know, they don't know, they keep on doing it. If you do it at home, when the color slightly change, or you burning the oil, throw it away. Okay, don't try to save and come back and use it again, because you're gonna have a lot of problems, especially people who have diabetes, because you cannot digest it. You all the thing, your system will not cannot function, cannot handle it. So this is when the oil from this color, clear to red color. See, this is all the temperature, the cooking process. The longer you go, the darker you get, and that's what it is. Okay, understand that. And this is become accumulation of all the toxin that coming from the fry, And if you add the burn on top of it, then it's so much problem because when the oil already burned, you think you can take all the imperfection out to become like this, and you still don't have a toxin, that burning toxin. No, it's still in there, and then you can cook with the toxin and add some more of that thing. That's why you get problem with your digestion system. Okay, this is very very big problem in almost every part of the world because they don't want to change the oil. They keep frying the same thing every day, day in, day out. You see the oil black, they're still frying it, especially the Indian cooking, so on street food. So because they want to save the money, but you want to save your health, just watch out for that. Okay, when the because of smoking point, right? You have to understand that smoking point is coming up. I already explained one time. It will come out more on the presentation. I do believe. Okay, what do you do with oil? It's a lot of oil when you do the cooking. You could use for salad dressing, definitely the French style 3 to 1. The three portion of oil and one portion of vinegar. So, and then the Thai they use some of the oil you know, not for the dressing that much, but now we start using it because we mimic the French. Everybody have to eat salad. Oh, I want the oil and vinegar, those kind of thing. So they start coming. So just try to make sure the oil that you can digest easily. Sometimes your body didn't take it. So in the condiment, always have oil, cooking oil. Marinating, you still have to put the oil in there because when you grill or barbecue or pan fry, so the oil will prevent it from burning and speed it up your process of cooking. You go faster and you contain the flavor inside whatever you have. That's why you need the oil in there. When you barbecue, the same thing. You have going to rub the oil in there, like especially in the fish, so the skin won't stick in your grill. Okay, you still need the oil. The baking, the same thing. If you use the oil to bake, you have to put the oil inside there to cook. But if you can avoid doing with the foil, then you still have to use the oil underneath it into your boil or bake your fish. Okay, if you stir fry, of course, it's oil. When you do pan fry, the people didn't understand. A lot of my students said, what the hell is pan fry? What the difference between pan fry and deep fry? Stir fry, they know because you use the red oil. When you do pan fry, you go to more oil, but it never cover like you cook the fish, it never cover your fish. Okay, like slightly above your two a quarter inch above the plan. When you put the specimen in there, they will go out that far. It doesn't go all the way to the top. Okay, that's the pan fry. That if you don't want to do the deep fry, that's what I do a lot of pan fry because I don't want the deep fry because the deep fry, this is what it look like the deep fry. Whatever you do, they go cover all your thing, and then you have a lot of oil in the system. Especially you fry, you coat it with starch, so you will have three combination of starch in there, and then you have oil in there so that when you eat it's so good but it's so toxic to your body. So just what out the cooking quality is necessary. Okay, so because of the fat can turn into sugar when you eat, right? You return to sugar and you eat. You have to know a little bit of trans fat, saturated fat, and unsaturated fat. Okay, this is the chain look like. Okay, you don't have to pay attention to that. So just look at what it look like. They're poly unsaturated, mono and saturated. Poly that means they have two bonding side by side. One it have one bonding like this when they connect it. Okay. Now, if you talk about trans fat usually come from what? You know, fried food. And the trans fat will raise your LDL, you lower HDL, and lift up your heart disease and stroke. That's why the FDA want the people who do the product to put it in the when you put it in a package, when you read the packet for the ingredient, they have to put it in there. You read your your label, so they have to put in there now because people have a lot of problem with trans fat because the trans fat that did to your system, okay? The LDL, HDL did affect those. So if you do fried food, the donut is a word because I think part of my diabetes is donut too because when I work in engineering because you got free donut every morning, so that for my breakfast you got brown donut, you got all the goodie for the breakfast thing, but that what you get, you eat dough and you eat starch and starch sweet and oil. So you got everything in there. You got the saturated fat frying on your donut and you eat it where it go, your stomach. This, suddenly you become sideways, fattening. So all those kind of things, the goodie. So this is the time that we do, okay? And bake good pizza. I used to do a lot of pizza, but at the end, I use the pizza to do my frisbee when we don't eat it because at the company they have that too. We got a pizza Friday night pizza. Friday evening you got pizza and beer for the engineer group. So you go in and chat with your friend, your all those things, eating pizza and drinking beer. Isn't that fun? And it all free. Serve it to the engineer. So those kind of thing. That one is accumulation. I worked for 15 years. I got about 15 years of that on my stomach, so on my body. So that one is when the diabetes comes. So that's part of it. So now I understand. I don't eat those kind of things anymore. So and then all the cookie, all a lot of lists for that. Puff pastry, fast food, those kind of things, chocolate, all kind of these is just trans fat in there. Just watch out. The saturated fat is you come from vegetable fat and animal fat. Okay. It also will raise your uh, SDL and NDL, and we give you more cholesterol. Okay, more with a part of the promotion for inflammation. So just watch out for this too. But trans fat, no. This one you can watch out what you do, minimize them, those kind of thing, because you can't avoid it. Vegetable fat like a palm oil, palm kernel, coconut, you know, baked good, or the canola or the olive oil or those kind of thing. You know, it's good in certain thing, but when you try to do fry like a deep fry, use palm on fire, then it's going to be in trans fat and cause problem for you. Okay, the animal fat. So you got bacon, you got sausage, all these things, butter, all those things. That is pretty same problem. But the bigger thing that I like the most, the animal fat, ice cream. So, and that another one that caught get the diabetes through the ice cream. I love ice cream. I can eat the whole pie by myself, sitting watching TV. Here we go, TV time. You just scoop it all the ice cream up for no reason. So anyway, And polysaturated, this what it's about. It's saying every oil is pretty much you raise the LDL and lower HDL. Okay, pretty much you then you have omega 3 and omega 6 on top of that. The omega 6 is not good. Omega 3 is good, right? And you see corn oil, soybean oil, sunflower. This is from the flour. This is from the pork pot, and it's a soybean from the ground, flax seeds is pretty much from the tree, and then you have from the fish, from tuna, from salmon, and all these kind of things. That polysaturated fat. That's why the omega 3 is good. I eat a lot of salmon and tuna. Sardine, they hardly eat. And mackerel, I eat a lot of good recipe for that. They're stingy, but they're good. So when I have to do all the seafood, especially the fish, I stick with the sea water, not the fresh water when I have to eat them. Okay, but I want to try. In Thailand, they have the freshwater uh, sashimi. I don't know about that. I would like to try. I want to know the process, how they clean it first, and what are the fish coming from, because it, all my friends say it's good to try it. I say, oh, let me see. I have diabetes now. I don't want to cause my system to get the problem if they have a lot of omega 6 in there. So what kind of thing is that? And then you have the monosaturated fat. Okay. Now you're gonna this thing it help, not hinder. This is help raise the LDL. This one is help raise the HDL. This is the opposite. You know that, because they lower LDL, but this one they raise LDL, so the polysaturated and monosaturated. Okay, you see the olive oil, canola oil, peanut oil, it's all these things. So one of these you could encounter with how you use it. Okay, just be aware that the fatty dietary fat. So trans fat, saturated fat, unsaturated fat, and then if you are unsaturated, it has polyunsaturated and monounsaturated. And you talk about saturated fat in vegetable fat and animal fat. Okay, that's all you want to know. And just be careful with it. It's just for your declaration in your mind, your memory. So, oh, I know something about it. You can tell people about that. Okay, all the information needs to come from the YouTube. Since you know already what kind of oil it is, now let's go look at the commercial fat and oil. Okay, this one is, you know, they call it SFAMUA. The SFA is saturated fat, monosaturated fat, saturated fat, monosaturated fat, and N6 is a polyunsaturated fat, that what they call the omega-6 fatty acid. So they have a fancy name, but it pretty much this omega-3. Okay, what happened with coconut? You know, have a lot of saturated fat. Okay, like what they indicated to you, the palm oil, butter oil, all large, everything is going. And when you see the corn oil, canola oil, they get lower and lower. And then they could canola rapeseed oil, you got that much of the saturated fat. Okay. But you have monosaturated fat, you got omega 6, you know, and then you got omega 3, those kind of things. So, but the reason they use this canola oil, but cold pressed did not, then I think the data should be changed with the cold press. So this is rapeseed, okay, but then I don't know the information is referred to the cold press or not. If they use the heat to crack the seed, so then that it probably accurate. Okay, if you use the cold press, like the the this information is not applied. Okay, because of the all of the this is what I just want you to know because sometimes when they say make canola, seed oil. But now you have to go to what kind of process is that? Cold press or hot press? So that kind of thing. We will, I will go more about how the manufacturing process of the canola oil. Okay. But before that, let's go see. So now talk about nutrition here. Let's about the fat and oil. Okay. This is done by the Teflon Fitted. Okay. Credit to them that. So this is what they come up with this table. But look into a lot of people that say similar. They talk about all these things. But I want to bring it out here to where okay, this is four things that I really use day in and day out to do my diabetic cooking. Okay, so canola oil, avocado oil. I use that when I do the salad. I don't cook with it because it have aftertaste. Okay, we change the taste in your food when you cook. You use it to stir fry or do something. Okay, the olive oil I use, but it extra virgin. Okay, that what I we do. I will use that. So the almond, all these things, ghee, those kind of thing, I don't use because the ghee, mostly the Indian cooking, they use that. The flaxseed oil, I don't do that either. So duck fat, those kind of thing, I don't cook with it, but I eat duck a lot, so I like duck. So when you come to the part, the butter, I hardly use butter because I it's good, tastes good, smell good, but I didn't like the flavor that much. So when you do everything with butter, I will eat with butter if I eat bread. If I eat bread, but I don't. So now I don't cut all those things out. So and then I use canola oil to fry, okay, to cook to marinate, okay. If I do the deep fry, right, I use large. Okay, I don't use the tallow because tallow have a lot of smell and a lot of aftertaste. Okay, the large it barely have the aftertaste, and then it tastes the food tastes good. Coconut oil. The Thai people don't cook with coconut oil, and we don't cook with that. A lot of people don't cook with it, and I don't know. In this country, I see some people try to sell the coconut oil and they do commercial. Oh, you cook with it, and then one of my friends went to school, and then they say, oh, we cook with this, cook with that, and it come down to the coconut oil, and she come back home and have a party, and she cook everything with the coconut oil, and then our conclusion is don't do that because every food that she made, you take you take all the coconut oil, and it become nauseating. So that food is ruining. So people are, oh no, I don't want to do that. So next time you if you're going to do coconut oil, get another person. We don't do that, those kind of thing, because it have an aftertaste and it sticking in your mouth, your tongue for a long time. That's why we don't do that to for the Thai cooking because you're losing the taste, flavor, texture, all these kind of things. The coconut oil, we use the coconut oil for massage or for your beauty skin, those kind of thing. And the coconut meat. So that what we do, you know, eat them, scrape it out, finely and eat it with uh, food. You put it in the food and you eat it raw. So, and you know how the coconut milk makes. So they use all the meat and they scrape it into small piece and then they put hot water in there. And then you marinate it, not marinate it, squeeze it, that kind of thing, and let it come out white water thick, the and that the coconut milk. And there are two things that separate it. One is the one that floating along the top that it they call kati, you know, and it have the one have a lot more water. They have And that one called huogati. The one that have more water, they call hangati, those kind of thing. So that when you cooking, the technique is you using differently, okay? The technique when you put it in there, how do you do that? Okay, the avocado oil you don't cook with it because have aftertaste is terrible. Olive oil have to be extra virgin, okay? But don't cook with margarine or shortening because that is a pure poison for a lot of people, okay? Just watch out for that. For you, now let's get to know about canola. How do they make it? The canola it come from a flower. The seed pop from the flower. Okay, canola seed. That's what they do. But you see, between the flower seed and sunflower seed, all the seed is from like a mung bean, all those kind of things. So soybean, all those they're all bigger. You know and the cracking process, that's what it's all about. Air fry, they have to use the air fry to do it, and then to crack open. This is it before. Now they have the process of the cold, press. They don't have to do the cracking; they do the cold press. But that the new technology that they use, but now it all you want to buy the one that has cold press process. Okay, let know about the process. What they do, they heat it up, so they crack it, and then they cool it down, and then they grind it, and then they go to the oil extraction. That when they press so hard, you know, in order to make the oil coming out. Okay, when the oil coming out, then they go into a lottery to evaporate to take the water out of the system because they have to have the water. They cannot just put it like that because it will burn the facility down. So they have to have a water, have solution in there and then put it out. They do the rotation like this to separate the water and oil coming out. Okay, that's the extraction, and then they put in a certificate the centrifugation, the machine to go and spin like crazy and to separate, the metallic and accessing the thing you don't want, and then you come out with a pure oil in there, and then they package it, and then they put in the bottle, you know they do analysis further. Actually the oil is good and not good because every crop of the is going to give you differently so each year, and then they have to do the analysis and do a judgment and come out to where the product is consistent. Okay, at this point here nobody know because it is proprietary information. Nobody tell you about that, but whatever they give it to you here, that's the oil that they do. So before frying oil, still a lot of them doing it, the air fry to crack open, but now they change it to where the cold press. Okay, that is safer, much safer. Okay, now how the oil process. A lot of people, vegetable oil, this differently. All these things. So you want to know, you can Google it. But this is the oil that they want. A lot of controversy when they come up with the uh, old cold press, and now you don't see that much controversy about all the canola not good for you because it come from the seed, and now they don't have any controversy. It come from the seed that because the reason they're capable to argue because of the air fryer, you have to crack it, you burn it, the system burning you, all these things you add toxic into the system. But now it's not. So in the way they grow, because everything come from the flower and the small pox seed. So I'm okay with it. I have no problem with it because, and then they do it. I lead a lot of research specifically on this, and they had a lot of controversy. And then when I know, okay, you have three industry, one in manufacturing, fighting with the doctor, and fighting is pharmaceutical. So all those kind of things. So who's supposed to who what? who care? But whatever the reason this is going to give it to you to you make decision you're going to use or not use. Okay, if a corporate you can use it. So a lot of doctors agree with that. But the controversy that they do all doctor or PhD is getting ugly because manufacturing industry coming in and then people who want the benefit, all the product control, other company of oil, like, the vegetable oil, all these things, also the gang it up and try to eliminate this canola oil, say the canola oil not good, and the Canadian people should put it back because it mostly is come from Canada, it's originated, and they do a lot of those. And then they say, oh, well, it's toxin from, the have the pesticide, blah, blah, blah. But, the controversy like this, you go every food industry, every product, every, the ingredient, they all controversy. But this is the big one because white people fighting. So it's that fun to see it, how the thing they really try to project to do all these, do that. And then you run into a lot of doctor was talking about, but most likely tend to be it's okay to eat it and not safe. Those kind of thing it slowly disappear because when they come up with a clean with a cold press and then there is no controversy and then canola gain a lot of things. The best thing of canola, I want to put it in here, is it have odorless. You don't smell anything. Colorless, so you don't see anything. So easy, and then don't have aftertaste. That easy to make Thai food. Okay, if you don't use large stir fry, you use canola oil. Okay, you can stir fry or extra virgin oil to do the stir fry. So you have choice to choose whatever you do. But for me, I have reason why because I consider it how fast that I'm going to go in cook real quick, real fast. What kind of oil I'm going to use? I'm not going to burn the oil because the oil when you burn, it becomes toxin. Okay, that what it become toxic. That's why you have to be careful what you pick. If you can follow me, pick like I do, like four oil in my house, that and the other oil, like sesame oil, they already processed all those kind of things because they have to pass the heat, those kind of thing too. If you think sesame seed, you know, and the canola seed, what kind of thing they're small, you think sesame seed, it's seed, it saved you. What wrong with the canola? And now they try to go, oh, because the product have the product have that. And then when they come with the, you know, new technology, then they have to accept it. Then now they have played for the canola in the OA market. So like I think is the industry fights it. Your job is to really dig into how safe it is, how good it is, and who's saying what. So if you capable to read the research paper, you know, all those kind of things, the articles is pretty good for the which doctor say the doctor say that. But when you read 4 or 5 of them, you see it's similar. It's a little bit obscure information is a few. The little bit it says the same thing, but the argument is because of canola tend to take over, overcome all the oil, more popular. That's why somebody got to say something to try to prevent them from sales a lot or exits them. So those kind of thing. It become politics. So just to let you know, but this is the choice that I make. I like them. Since you already know how the oil uh, process or how they make them. So now you more likely understanding what it is. That's why cooking oil choice it need to be done for you, whoever do diabetic cooking. Okay, because you have to consider this when you choosing your oil. Cooking method, what kind of thing you're gonna do? You're gonna fry, stir fry, you're gonna grill, barbecue, bake, pan, fry, all those kind of things. You have to understand it. What kind of thing, cooking technique you to use, and what temperature you're going to use. Because sometimes you do the deep fry, you take it longer, like you people buy fry the whole chicken, the whole turkey and burn the house down, I think. And sometimes, most of the time, the oil we burn before the turkey cook, that toxin is already in the system, and then what you're going to do, that's what you have to think about, what kind of oil you're going to use. So don't go for the cheap oil and cause you a problem later. No, just know what oil you're going to use, what it's used for, okay? And the burning point is really, very important, okay? In the next slide, you will see that I will show you what it is. And then aftertaste, this is in Thai cooking. A minute you eat something like a coconut and then you already finish your food, you still have the taste of the buttery taste in your tongue. That's the aftertaste. And then sometimes it tastes weird. Suddenly, oh, what the hell is that? And then it just still sticking in your mouth, and you have to go brush your teeth and scrape your tongue. Those kind of thing that you have to consider, okay? Because another thing is we changing the taste. If you could like put coconut oil to cook with it, you can changing the taste because whatever you put it in there and then if they cannot absorb it in meat or vegetable or whatever you put in there, it will changing the taste of those things because those things like you eat ginger, you taste a lot of coconut. So does that make sense to you? Okay. Changing the color, if your color, sometimes you marinate your chicken like you want. Oh, I make a chicken satay. It should come a really beautiful color. Okay, and you put the oil in there and put it there. When you start cooking, the oil changing. You're getting now it not the yellow like a turmeric that turn it a little bit red, those kind of thing. So you can then bring it back into the turmeric thing because that oil changing your color when you do those kind of thing. So this is one example, and then you got trans fat. You think about if anything has trans fat, you can avoid. You go ahead and avoid it, and if you do not avoid, you could pick the one that has less trans fat. Okay, and if you can avoid it, you use less of that. Okay, and cholesterol, the same thing. You have to consider if you have a high cholesterol, then you have to really consider what kind of fat you're going to use to cook your food. So for diabetes choice, this is my choice. You can welcome to follow. So I use extra virgin olive oil, okay, for stir fry, for do something quick, okay, for marinade, for salad, that kind of thing. So I use lard for deep fry, pan fry, that kind of thing. Canola, I do that a lot because I can do deep fry from time to time if you don't dip my specimen, dip my piece, it's like a bite size, that kind of thing. I can use that because it will not raise the temperature to where burning point is. And the canola oil, don't cook with it. You can make the salad out of it. When you cook it, you have aftertaste. This is my choice. So you're welcome to use that and you learn how to master it, then you'll be good. Okay, your body will be good. Don't have to digest all the weird oil in your system. Okay, I don't know about your guy, but for me, I'm the chef. So the biggest thing you have to learn is smoking point. So this is the smoking point. You have to do some research, all the things, what are the things that you're going to use, what kind of oil you're going to use, what is the burning point temperature. That what you have to know. That's why they have the oven for you to check it out. Oh, you're going to bake the chicken for 450 degrees, but for how long? That what the long time, the longer you do, the longer you put it in there, your meat, whatever you cook, the temperature start raising. You say, oh, my temperature is set with 350, but your time that you go in there is more than half an hour, and more hour and a half. That's why you think burn because it's just time. So it's the temperature go there. When those things start burning, okay, then you got toxin. Yeah, I have been telling that what they have this thing for, like a extra virgin oil at 325. Okay, if you go beyond that, it burn. Okay, the last you go like 400, it will burn. You think that when it burn, it becomes toxin. It's in your food, your system, and then you eat that. Okay, and this is another thing I want to you to understand that the pan fried temperature is about 245 Fahrenheit, the temperature. Deep fried about from 320 to 356. So, and oven about 365, that kind of thing. So if you're going to burn it, unless you barbecue, do the barbecue, you have to keep an eye, keep on looking, and then it burns. So whatever you set, oh, my temperature is that, you cannot set it. You have to look at the dial, it go up and down. It sometimes because the temperature still say, oh, for 248 or whatever it is, but inside your food, it already go beyond that. That's why it get burned. So watch out for all this. Smoking point is one another thing that you have to know. Okay, if you're diabetics and you going to cook diabetes food, noticing a little bit what kind of oil, what the burning point is, that is going to help you out. Okay.